Libra. This is your reading. Sorry for the waiting, but I think I needed some time to get to your reading. This is a very emotional time for you, Libra. And it's kind of normal, no? Just before our birthday, just before we experience a new year, there might be a lot of thinking going on. And most surely when Mercury is in your sign. You know, you are a sign that is ruled by Venus, but you're air, thinking, thoughts, how you analyze things, Libra. This is something that it can really play very well, you know, like you being the diplomat, always in the situation, Libra, thinking about how to balance relationship situations with everybody, you know, always trying to think on the we and not the I, no? Like just I, myself, and trying to find always that balance, that medium point that symbolizes you so well, Libra. It's just that sometimes the same thing that can be your best advantage is also where you might feel the weakest in some moments. Knight of Swords. You know, right now, I think we are already at 8 of 9. Actually, we are at 9 of September. It's funny, I'm having a 9 here as a first card for you, Libra. Mercury is already in retrograde, and it's gonna be in retrograde in your sign until good part of October as well. So even though most of times retrogrades, they feel like a pain in the ass, and we all know this. I mean, at least people that guide themselves with astrology or like to let these things in a way guide them. You know, then when Mercury is in retrograde is the time when our thoughts or thinking is almost like taking us back. But this Mercury retrograde, even though maybe right now it feels like this, Libra, at least in some moments, like overly thinking, it's like constantly being in your head. And most surely thinking a lot about the past. I mean, all this Virgo season, because we are still in Virgo, and so the Sun is in Virgo in your 12th house, plus Mars is there still, and we had a new moon, a very positive new moon in Virgo in your 12th house. So it had been quite a focus for you to be rethinking of the past. Even though maybe a lot of good things started happening for you during this period and still is going on, I really have this feeling with you, Libra. Most surely thinking about your work and also your relationships, like you healing a lot of things about your relationships. At work, as a family circle, your intimate relationships. You have been in the process of analyzing what all this was, how it transformed, and how these things were transforming you, how these relationships were transforming you. I don't know if you will be able to hear it, but unluckily there is a dog that lives right next to my house, Libra, and I feel so pity for him. Maybe you will hear him cry many times. he's alone most of the day, and her owner, they close him in a balcony for most of part of the day, and alone, and the poor dog is in complete suffering. So excuse me if this is something that you might hear during the whole reading, but I can't do anything about it, Libra, unluckily. It makes me so angry. So Libra, coming back to your reading. You, even though all these things, no, are starting to work, your work, your relationships, you're healing a lot of things about your relationships. And you making sure that where you're putting your efforts in, it's worth it. You're starting to see, I mean, you have 2 nines here, Libra, so this is very powerful, and definitely I'm connecting here with a Virgo, with a Libra, that it's in a period of a lot of, it's like closing up a cycle, arriving to the end of something that maybe has been quite difficult to leave behind, and still, even though it's like materially speaking, you're doing well. You have created here some sense of abundance and independence regarding your work and your material life. You working hard, or you had to work hard to get to this level of abundance in your life, Libra. This is not no matter what, you know. But you're still worried. You're worried of having the new start. Really leaving what you don't longer need behind. The Fool is coming in your obstacle, Libra. And for me, this is just a confirmation of I was feeling before. It's like you are in the 9, but you still know that you need 1 more to get to the 10. And that's exactly your issue right now. And I see that that's probably why you are so much up in your head. I mean, all this energy in your 12th house, this last new moon in Virgo, and having Mars here and the Sun, there has been a lot of like awareness and consciousness, no, about your past situations, karmic situations. Maybe even you had been doing some ancestral work here, or thinking about how maybe past experiences from your family might have an influence in you. I mean, if you're connecting with this video, Libra, really please, I will recommend you to check my last video I did for you on my channel, because I had been talking about this, I mean, with everything that has been going on during this Virgo season and last Leo season. It's like you going into this really inner research, exploring new ways on how you see yourself, so that you can have something completely new. And this is probably what maybe right now is your obstacle, but it might come out to you while starting your season, Libra, even though it worries you. You know what I love about this as well? I mean, the Fool, I associate it a lot with 7 of Swords. I associate it a lot to Aries and Aquarius, like the spark, the visionary, the adventurous, the energy, that is like the Fool. I mean, he's the one that is not scared to take the jump. he's not scared of the unknown. He doesn't mind the risk. It's like he goes anyway. He represents that energy we need, that unconsciousness being we sometimes need to start or to take certain actions in your life, Libra. And this is also where I see it, is like Mars, like it's right now it's in your 12th house in Virgo, but by the 15th it's gonna enter in your sign, and it's gonna be in your sign for quite some time as well, for like about a month and a half. And I know, I mean, Mars in your house in Libra is not necessarily where Mars feels the most comfortable, as Venus, that is gonna be in a Scorpio, and actually from tonight, is also not gonna be in the most comfortable position. I still think that this is something that will benefit you a lot, Libra, because Mars is gonna be that push you need right now, so that you can take that action no matter if you're scared of taking this action. No matter what we're talking here about, maybe your work, maybe a certain relationship that you want to explore more during this period. But I think that, Libra, I think that's, even though you're gonna be thinking a lot about your relationships, and even probably doing, as I said, some work regarding your family, or some things that you know that still you're in process of healing, no? From past relationships. You're gonna be, I think, a lot more focused in things that have something to do with what you want to do as a job or work, or what is your vocation here. And it's like how you see these routines that you do in your daily life, and if they do have a sense with this new self that you want to start, like with this new self you had been creating and transforming for already some time, and you're starting to feel right now that even though probably this jump, this leaving behind the past might mean being very scary, and you being a lot in your head about this, you will feel this push, Libra, that will really help you to do it no matter how scary you might feel right now. And I really like that, because I think that you're a sign that you need this push, Libra. And that's why I think that Mars in your sign, it's gonna be so positive from the 15th of September. And maybe this is something that you're already feeling right now, because this is exactly which will allow you to close that chapter and to start a new one here. Look at this. The Fool is your obstacle, and how you're coming consciously in the reading, Libra, is the World. Like, the obstacle is the first arcane of the tarot. He's not even in the beginning. He could be in the beginning as he could be part of the end. And then this is how you're coming here. You being very aware that you are ending here something that might mean not just touching your career, your work, your relationships. I mean, I think this is something that you are seeing as a whole, Libra. Because also, it's like, even though, all this Virgo energy, Virgo, very practical, very planning, organizing energy, and then the full moon that we're going to experience in Pisces in your 6th house together with Neptune. I mean, Pisces and Neptune, like with a full moon in this sign, but it represents your 6th house. But even though it represents your 6th house, which is a house that also talks about practicalities, your routines, your health, your work, it's like your lifestyle, Libra. And you probably having here a closure on how you see your life right now, and how you wanna see these routines, how you want to apply yourself in these routines to maybe improve your work or improve your health. But I think that for you, the difference maybe than will be for other signs is that this change, it's about on how these routines are aligned with your new sense of spirituality and emotions, Libra. Because this is not just practicalities. It might look like that in the surface for other people, or even in some moments for you, like you knowing that to maybe close each chapter, or let's say take this jump and start new, finally start new, no matter the complications, no matter the doubts. That, to be honest, Libra, I think that this is more up in your head than it is in your reality right now. Like you overly thinking about this instead of like doing it. You thinking constantly about the pros and the cons, like, so. But even though maybe this is like, like this is a very, you trying to be practical and knowing that this is a moment to, that maybe from the outside, as I said, the surface, this might look like very like practical, or in a way you trying to be pragmatic about this new start and saying, I need to do this differently. I want to do something different that is more connected to myself, no? This is more emotional, and this is more like, in a way, connected to your spirituality than you even thought of, Libra. And this is how I feel you during this month, is that no matter if all these things, they look like very practical, very material stuff that you try to organize and plan and fit together, and for you this is like deep, very deep, and it's affecting everything, and has been like that for a while. 3 of Cups here, and then the last card for Libra, please, and the Temperance. Knight of Cups, the Judgment in the back. I always like to look at the cards on the back. So, Libra, the work you have done it already. Nine of Coins. You had worked a lot to get to where you are right now. But I still think that there is one last step to get to this world, Libra. One last step. And the thing is that right now, as I'm feeling you, Libra, and of course, if you are connecting to this video, because this is a general reading, guys. So if you're not connecting with this story, don't bother. Just go and check other videos or check your natal chart. Or also you can find other tarot readers out there, Libra, But if you are connected to this story, and what I'm seeing here, Libra, you want this. And you want this so bad. There is something here that it's becoming as undeniable for you, like you need to close this chapter, Libra. You need to really close this chapter. And to be completely honest with you, I think that you are very worried about this right now as I'm feeling you. And you probably will still be up in your head about all this change. Because this is not something that is gonna come fast. Maybe the closing will come fast. But how you are gonna process all this change is gonna take you a while. This is not something that goes fast, Libra. This is something that you know you will really have to moderate yourself, connect with the earth as to be connected with the water. You know, I mean, this is what this temperance is bringing you. I mean, you know, the temperance is the Arcane 14 that comes right after the death card. So it's like, and that's how you're like closing this reading in a way. Is the card that for me signifies the conclusion of this situation. Like this change, even though it's like, I think you're gonna still be a lot in your head about this. You're not gonna be feeling very comfortable about taking this decision or going through this change, even though you know that this change with time might mean success for you. It's like you're right now so scared about this. Because probably you intuitively know that the results you are expecting here, and I see them also with this Three of Cups coming in your hopes and coming in your fears, like what you would want, what Libra wants from the situation. You want to feel light here emotionally. You want to feel that you can celebrate. You want to rejoin with friends. You want to maybe feel at a general level you're in a moment where you would want just to reconcile, or regarding your inner self, Libra, like let's say feel the joy now, which is very contrary from this, like what you're probably experiencing right now at a mental level. And so you want to feel the joy, you want to feel light, you want to feel like, yeah, refresh again. You want to leave all this heavy energy behind. You want to leave also probably this negative thinking that hasn't been helping you out at all, Libra. Like, this is not just about excessive thinking, but this is about letting yourself go down because of negative thinking. It's like defeating yourself, sabotaging yourself to not to go through this change, to not to take this jump, to maybe we could be talking, I mean, as just to give an example, we could be definitely talking about that new adventure in your work, something that you want to do new, and maybe something that you haven't experienced before, and it's like you're having troubles, let's say, to have that jump and say, man, I've been dedicating all my life to this kind of work, but actually what I really want, what my soul and my heart is telling me, is completely different for what I have been doing until now. And it is just something that is coming as temporarily because maybe I'm like mentally lost here, or is this something real? is this really something I can see? It's almost like the Two of Wands coming in your environment. You're having here a new opportunity that probably has something to do with your career, your work, or simply maybe a hobby you have, but it's something that is very creative for you. And you know, your fifth house, where Aquarius is where also Saturn and Jupiter are right now. So your fifth house, all along until the end of December, even beginning of 2022, Libra, it's gonna be very highlighted. And so it's a lot about your creativity and how you enjoy life and what it really passions you, and probably these things that not just have to do, it's like about just doing the job and getting with the day done. No, this is really about what it really is, like what it really turns you on. What it really turns you on. And I think you are, I'm here with a Libra that actually you are looking right now exactly what it turns you on. But the problem is that these Two of Wands is like, you know that maybe going into this option you have, it means leaving something behind that probably you were, materially speaking, you were quite engaged to. It gives you some comfort, some probably stability and abundance. Why not? Like some real comfort that it works, but maybe this is not enough for you, Libra. Maybe there is something here that you feel it's almost, it's like calling you, but you're scared of fact, like to take this road. You know, the balance, I mean, guys, you know what I'm talking about, Libra. Like, definitely if you're a Libra there that has, or maybe your sun sign is not Libra, but you do relate to Libra, or you have many aspects or important transits in Libra. And who knows, maybe you're not even a Libra, had anything Libra, but you're connecting with this video. But Libra people, or people that had a strong Libra in their chart, one of the most difficult things you have is to take decisions. Even though when you have the proof right in front of your eyes. Even though when it's becoming so fucking crystal clear, but still Libra is trying to think all the possible options that is like, I cannot miss that neither. Maybe that would also be, it's like overly thinking, overly analyzing, overly being in your head, while the solution or what you want to do here, what you're being guided to do, and what your heart, your soul is telling you, Libra, you know that this means taking that jump and liberating yourself from maybe what it meant comfort to you, for you until right now. Because yeah, I think that you had been in this period where you have created something that probably materially speaking has been very cool. Like, to say, probably for some time it gave you this sense of independence, material autonomy. Maybe you working as a freelance here or doing something maybe that it really helped you out to get some degree of enjoyment or pleasure. But this is like pagan pleasure, you know. And you know, also like signs like that are ruled by Venus, like you, Libra, or Taurus, you tend to be these signs that in some moments you might get lost into this pleasure vibe, you know, like this pleasure thing, but then at the end always comes back to what is actually much profound than that, no? And then when you arrive to this level and then you're like, okay, I made this, I created this, this is what I got, but is this really fulfilling me? Is actually this something I want to do for much longer? Or I know here that I have an option that's really the one I want. That's the one I'm seeing that has is like where I see the world in my hands. You know. But can I be able, am I able to leave that behind? To close this chapter? Maybe the change, and maybe this is just a specific for one Libra there, maybe the change or whatever you're trying to decide right now, that I think it has a lot to do with a hobby or a career or a work you're doing right now, Libra, or that you are guided to do right now. It might imply some traveling or maybe moving, changing of location, or changing of job, really, like changing of like where your work is located, or maybe doing something regarding your work that it's like more international, like has something that is connected to maybe online working, doing something that is abroad, that maybe it's like taking you to another sector or doing something in another way that probably is like you have never did this before in your life. This is a very new experience you want to take. And I'm going to tell you something, Libra. This is something that only you can choose. Nobody's going to choose for you. Nobody. But if this is what you're feeling right now, or like what you're thinking that is bringing you this anxiety, that is bringing you these thoughts that create a sense of emotionality, that it kind of like, it really puts you down, Libra, right now. And I think that in this moment, it's like you are a lot like, kind of almost like even trying to deny yourself, Libra, maybe even lying to yourself, saying, maybe trying to speak into yourself about, no, I'm not capable of doing this. No, I'm not capable of taking this jump. No, I'm not capable of seeing this success or going into this new job or getting that new hobby, or like exploring more this hobby, or maybe going to live there. No, it's like, I think that definitely you're in a moment right now where it's like what you're trying to do is convince yourself that this is actually what you want, staying in this Knight of Coins, which it looks good, but you don't just want the Knight of Coins, you want the world. No matter if the world means taking the risk, enjoying the road, Libra. And also, it's like whatever you're trying to decide right now, and maybe this new plan is coming your way, or this new possibility that is like you're experiencing right now, or you're starting to visualize in your life, is really helping you out to reconnect with your inner selves, Libra. Like to really reconnect with, it's like your mind, your emotions, your soul are all like, I mean, this is what temperance brings. It's like that, also that after going through the change and the transformation and knowing that this is something that is not gonna be, it's like it's not gonna come fast. This is something that comes, it's like a process. So it's not like I'm not seeing here something where, okay, I'm doing this and this is gonna be the result I'm gonna take. No, because the Fool knows that whatever he is like jumping towards, he cannot see what he would get from this jump. Like, it's like what what you have been calling to do right now, and maybe what your heart is telling you right now, Libra, is to go into the direction where you cannot see the results. And that's part of it. That's also part of what maybe all the situation is trying to teach you as well, Libra. And like, even though the doubts, the questionings, the self-sabotage, the trying to lie to yourself, or maybe even having, could be maybe some people might be, very, in some moments you will feel in a way defeated by the opinion of others. Could happen, most surely, if you are experiencing this kind of changes, or you are in process of trying to do something here different. You know that even though this is gonna take some time, little by little, Libra, this is something that it's almost like it's gonna give you back a sense of peace and like emotional fulfillment that probably you were not expecting while doing this. The Temperance, and she came right above this Three of Cups, which is what you're hoping. That at the end this decision will mean coming back to the sense of happiness and relief and peace and balance and harmony. That, guys, if you are deciding this, and this is something that at the end, no matter the doubts, no matter the overthinking, at the end you will decide to take this jump because you feel that you cannot deny this call. I think that when you're gonna see this full moon in Pisces by the 20th of this month, and this is, this full moon is gonna be very special and quite strong, because while this full moon, it's together with Neptune, so it's almost like bringing an extra level of dreaminess and fantasy attached to this full moon, It's like, when we are in the moments of the cycle of the full moons, new moons, we have like these high peaks where our subconscious, it gets highly activated. So it might be that during this period, and most surely, during this month of September, just before your season start, Libra, that you might experience here it's almost like even though you are being able to be very practical and, let's say, put order into all these things so you can start or maybe guide yourself towards you're going right now, it's like you're gonna have this moment of aha moment that it's gonna be more spiritual or like more emotional than you even thought of. And even though this might look super cloudy because, moon in Pisces, it's not like, it feels like it's quite a foggy moon. But I think that this fogginess, it's gonna be, in a way, it's like gonna bring a key, an answer, a clue to something that maybe until now we could not find in that practical way. And it might come even unexpected, But I gotta tell you, even though I see that right now, I don't think, like right now, maybe this is what is coming to you, Libra. Like, you're gonna make it. You are making it. If you have already decided, and it could really be, you have already taken the decision and you already started this new adventure. Could really be. Try to stay away of your mind right now, Libra. Really. Because I think that you are accomplishing so much more than what you're able to release or realize right now. Well, Libras, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And if you like this video or you're connected with this story, don't doubt to click like or subscribe, Libras. And otherwise, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. And also, if you're interested in a private reading, you can contact me. I have my email below, so you can send me an email, just even if you have any questions or out of curiosity. And otherwise, guys, I'm gonna see you next month. Take care, guys. And really try to stay out of your head, Libra. I really think you're gonna have to be, for sure, very patient with yourself this month. But realize that you are getting there. Okay? Bye-bye, guys.